do? See you in Fayetteville. See you in Fayetteville. Hawks by 9.
No goodbye! Natty! With the buzzer! It does it! It's
Now, entering Natty State Studio, the sports media palace of Mid-America, the Wolf of Center Street, here's your host, John Nabors.
And welcome into the John Nabors live from Natty State Sports Studios. Appreciate each and every one of you listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. I am your host, John Nabors, and appreciate each and every one of you for listening in and watching in and making us part of your afternoon this afternoon, as we have plenty of things to get to here today. Man, it's going to be I'm going to be honest with y'all, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter John Nabors show, which some of you may be pretty happy about. But due to the live stream that we did just an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and everything that we're doing, I just don't want to, regurgitate a lot of the same stuff that has been going on. But this is going to be reaction once again to the announcement of John Calipari officially jumping into the transfer portal. He's not made his resignation, I should say, to Kentucky. And we're going to talk about it and hear from old Cal and what he had to say and what it all meant and everything. So we want to get your thoughts, though, to the announcement that John Calipari is out of Kentucky. He has officially resigned. We'll play the video that he put out there for it, too, and we'll just continue to discuss. And again, get your reaction. So if you want to get in on the conversation, it's really simple to do. Just call in, 936-246-2889. You dial that number, it'll get you squared away and get you onto the show. You can also get into the chat, which is also going to be a lot of fun, too, and pretty lively each and every time. And we'll try to get to as many of your reactions as possible through this whole thing. But I did want to start the show in discussing and giving my quick reaction to what transpired in the Calipari, the ordeal of him officially resigning. He put out a video, which was funny because he puts out a video at first and it looked terrible. I don't know what it was. It looked like they filmed it with a potato, but he put out a video, he deleted the tweet, and then he put out a new video. So I think for context and for everything, let's just go ahead and play this video. It's about 4 minutes in, and you can think for yourself, hear for yourself, and think of what type of reaction that you'd like to know and everything. So anyways, here's what Calipari had to say, and sitting in his really nice house on his nice couch and saying his final goodbye to Big Blue Nation.
Since our season ended, Ellen and I have spent a lot of time thinking about our time here at Kentucky, what it means to us, the friends we've made on that court, regional championships, conference championships, Final Fours, the national title in 2012. It's been a beautiful time for us. This is a dream job. It was my dream job. Anybody in our profession looks at the University of Kentucky in basketball and said, that is the bluest of blue. The last few weeks, we've come to realize that this program probably needs to hear another voice, that the university as a whole has to have another voice giving guidance about this program that they hear. And the fans need to hear another voice. We've loved it here, but we think it's time for us to step away and step away completely from the program. There have been opportunities that have been presented to us, and we're discussing them as a family. I love coaching. I love coaching young people. I love this year's team. I loved every day walking in. They've invigorated me. I love the chase for championships. I love bringing the kids together. It's what I do. It's who I am. Let me start, though. I've got to thank the players and the families that I've had the privilege of coaching because they've entrusted me with their son and their son's career. What they've done in the classroom. Over 30 of the guys have graduated, 6 in 3 years. What they've done in this community to give back to the state of Kentucky. They gave all of us everything they had on the basketball court and off the basketball court. And I am indebted forever until the wheels fall off. And I think they all know that. I'm not going to bring up names because if I bring up one, I've got to bring up 50. And lastly, thanking staff, all the people that worked to help us have the success we've had. All the people in the university as a whole in all the things that they did. The friends, I'm looking right into the camp. We've made lifelong friends that we'll be close with the rest of our lives. And the fans, the BBN, all that you've done to build this program, the people that traveled with us, I want to thank you. Hopefully it was an experience with your kids that you can look at and say, man, this is something that we'll remember the rest of our lives together. Those memories and what we were able to do together is what this is all about. Again, it's been a dream, what we've been able to do. But 15 years, time for another voice. And you know I'm always going to be a fan. Thank you.
So there you have it. There was John Calipari in his own words, dealing with the resignation and him stepping down, and which was a classy move and very respectful way. And I think he actually was genuine in what he was saying and how he was referencing it. But it's crazy to think that it's still in the process and how it's unfolding. People have been freaking out about the way it's been delayed at times. And I keep bringing it up, folks. Like, it's a crazy time right now. And these types of things take time and processes. And everyone wants to try to be first. And everyone wants to no, because you have PTSD or whatever it is. But it's going to be fine. Like, it's going to be okay. And so that's just another example of it. But I will say this was actually an interesting picture that was put up. Bobby Bones, friend of the show, posted this picture. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, dude, that looks weird. Not going to lie. For those that can't see it, it's Calipari and him having his graphic up in Bud Walton Arena. And he has a red jacket on. It's, of course, photoshopped. But what a strange thing, man. It never really hits home. You never really understand how crazy it is until you see stuff like that. And suddenly you're like, what? Excuse me? Doesn't get more real than that, folks. But wow, that's just that's an interesting thing. But they're already on top of it. So stop with your belly aching on press conferences and when it's going to be and everything. It's done. It's over with, and we're good to go. But I know we got callers, and I'll get to you here in just a second. But just real quick on my reaction to this. There's been a lot of stuff that's gone around about Cal, and mainly from like Kentucky media. Cal was asking for a counteroffer from Kentucky, and they said no. And so he decided, well, if you're not going to counteroffer me, then I'm just going to go. I believe that is patently false. I don't believe that's true. I don't think that Cal asked for a counteroffer. And the reason being is just because if you use logic and rationale, you can kind of understand that. But also, Tom Mars of Tom Mars Law, who happens to know a little bit about the whole thing with laws and contracts, when he saw the report from Dick Gabriel, who's a longtime Kentucky broadcaster, Tom said, that's odd. Dick's reporting doesn't seem to align with the text message I received as Coach Cal's lawyer from Kentucky Athletics at 1:22 p.m. Eastern Time, which said, quote, we are hearing Cal made us a counteroffer that was never received by us. So what it sounds like to me is that they're just trying to make it look like that Cal just didn't leave them for Arkansas. As simple as that. I think it's sour grapes. I think it's a I think it's a bad look and a bad move by them. I mean, you can just let it go, but they're trying to save some face right now. And I'll be honest, like I hear, again, some of these names getting thrown around and hearing what Kentucky wants to do later with Billy Donovan. If that's who they want. We had a caller yesterday to talk about. I was like, dude, what? I don't know if y'all understand. This is a new era of college basketball. So there's a huge gap and there's a huge burden that's on the shoulders now of Mitch Barnhart. He's got to get this done. He's got to get it done now. So not that that doesn't matter what happens to Kentucky, but I kind of want low-key hope that it ends up being Billy Donovan at Kentucky. I think that'd be great. But don't always believe what you say. I believe that the reports are coming out that there's going to be a press conference tomorrow at 6 p.m., 5 or 6 p.m. in the afternoon. Some people are saying that. I don't know if it's actually been confirmed or not for Coach Cal. And then also at 1:30 in the afternoon, I believe, is when his flight arrives at Drake Field. And so we at Natty State Sports will be there. Some big-time content going to be happening there. So we'll be out. We'll be on top of that. And so just wanted to throw that out there in case some of you want to hang out and do that thing. So either way. But yeah, we got to get to some of these calls because I know this is more for your reaction, because if you want to hear from us and our reaction here at Natty State, you can go and check out the previous stream that we did earlier today. But I think that, well, actually before that, real quick, I want to answer this question because I think this is a good one. It comes from Mike. He says, hey, John, what do you think about the fact that Kentucky is being told no by Nate Oates and even scoffed at by Dan Hurley last night? I think the shine may be faded. I'm going to be honest, guys. Like, you can call this a slight, you can call this an insult, but it's just the reality. I just don't think that the Kentucky job is one that is just like, you know, like everyone's just going to be begging, where they can pick and choose who their coach is going to be. And not maybe for a while. And I'm not saying they'll end up with a bad coach. Don't get me wrong. Like, if they ended up pulling out a Hurley or Scott Drew or anybody like that, that would be huge, and they'd be really good, and it'd make sense for them to go to those jobs. But I just don't think that it's the spot to where it has this aura around it, maybe like it once did. It's just my opinion. I'm sure Kentucky fans disagree. It's just my opinion. But there's so much about the modern day of college sports and NIL and transfer portal that's really hard to fathom. And if Nate Oates is feeling like he's better off at Alabama, and you got UConn, which they've won back-to-back titles, and it's not even close. But with Hurley, like, why would you leave? So if Kentucky's smart, though, they will back up the money truck and get them one of those guys. Like, they get him a Scott Drew, get him a Oates, you know, or Beard or somebody of that level. But to me, if you end up with Billy Donovan, you settle. You settle hard. Settle really hard. Do you really want a coach that's going to only, like, or at least a coach that hasn't coached a single game in the modern era of college basketball? He's not coached a single college basketball game during the time of NIL and transfer portal. I don't know if that's the route you want to go. So, all right, let's go to the phone lines. I guess this person doesn't have a name technically in it, but comes from the 859 area code. So what's going on in the 859?
Hey, John, you got me?
I got you, buddy.
Hey, don't be deceived by the area code. I am calling from Lexington, Kentucky, but I am Razorback through and through.
Love hearing that.
Wanted to run by you real quick from a perspective of a Hogs fan here in Lexington, to see the excitement and ecstaticism coming from the Kentucky fans about getting Calipari out. I mean, I do a lot of public service work in the heating and air field, so I drive past Calipari's what will be former residence, and for the last 7 or 8 years, he's had for sale signs in his yard, one for each seed, especially in the tournament, for whichever seed knocked him out. This year's 14 for sale signs. I'm just curious to know, because I'm what you would call a relatively young fan, 24 years old. And my favorite era so far, at least what I can remember of Arkansas basketball, has been Musselman. Just the enthusiasm and charisma that he brought to Bud Walton. And I know Calipari's a great recruiter. I'd just like to get your opinion on what you think Calipari will be able to bring to the table as a recruiter, and especially an in-game coach. I know that a lot of UK folks have been saying, he's a great recruiter, but he's not very good X's and O's. And how is he going to bring Arkansas back to the level of Musselman, if not greater than that? I'll hop off the phone line to let you give your perspective on that. But thanks for taking the call.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for calling in, and appreciate you being out there in enemy territory at Lexington. I think that anytime you have a new coach, there's always a level of excitement and an energy when it comes to recruiting. And if you need any example of that, look at Eric Musselman. When Eric Musselman came into Arkansas, you're talking about him getting all the in-state kids pretty much in his first year of a true recruiting cycle with Moses Moody, K.K. Robinson, Devo Davis, Jalen Williams. I mean, he got them all. And that was massive. And you had great guys coming out of the transfer portal. It just provides an excitement because it's new. It's a new thing. And Cal is not a new, unrelated, or undervalued guy. I mean, he is a biggest, if not the biggest name in all of college basketball. And because of that fact, it's going to be a renewed energy for him. It's going to be a renewed energy for Arkansas. And that energy is going to spread throughout the recruiting elements and the transfer portal and everything. Like it's all going to spread through all that. So to me, I think he's going to do, I mean, is he going to have exactly the same recruiting success that he did at Kentucky? I hope so. And I think it's possible. But I do believe that, being honest, all those players, if not the majority of those players, the reason they went to Kentucky was because of Cal. Like, Kentucky may have been a bonus added into it because it's a great program, but it was because of Cal. And if that's the case, then I don't see any reason why he doesn't get the same type of recruits there and the same type of portal guys. And saying about, I've heard this about his X's and O's things, and you know what? You may be right, but my thing is he still had a level of success at Kentucky that most people would love to have and die to have. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach for a reason, and a lot of it has to do with what he did at Kentucky. He's been to 6 Final Fours. He's won a national championship. So if that's not being the greatest X's and O's coach, then sign me up. I think that Arkansas, and the expectation that they have, yeah, you want to win a national championship, and you can compete for a national championship, and Arkansas with Calipari can be a national champion. But the fact of the matter is that he comes in, and if he could just replicate the similar success that he's had at Kentucky, I think everyone's signing up for that. Like, in the next 5 years, you tell me that Arkansas only goes to 4 Sweet 16s and 3 Elite 8s and maybe a Final Four and maybe a national championship, and that's it. Sign me up. So I'm willing to see, because I'd rather have just to be honest, I would rather have the greatest, most talented roster with a solid X's and O's coach, or decent X's and O's coach, than have an elite X's and O's coach with a roster that's not that great. Because say what you want, but coaches in the Final Four, coaches that get there, coaches that are consistent, those are usually the coaches that have the most success, and they're usually the coaches that do really great things when it comes to getting guys, getting players, and having the most talent, or at least the best fit of talent in the NCAA tournament. All right, let's go to, I think this says Casey. I don't know. Well, hopefully it's Casey. It's somebody from the 501. What's up, 501?
What's going on, John? This is Case. We've been talking past couple of days.
Gotcha.
But I have something new here for you. What do you have to say to the fans that, just aren't impressed with this hire and think that it's a bad hire and it's just going to go south?
Well, I haven't seen many of those fans. I'm not saying you're wrong. Like, I feel like it's hard to ever get a pulse of the majority, but geez, I have not ran into any fan that wasn't some sort of anonymous Twitter bot or something that has taken issue or said this is a bad hire. Anybody that's in Arkansas, especially, that thinks this is a bad hire, they're kidding themselves. Like, this is a tremendous, outlandish, crazy hire that is phenomenal. Like, I mean, you just can't state it enough, because like with Cal at the helm, and again, assuming he's going to be able to recruit at the same high level, which with the NIL package he's been given, I don't see why not. Like, what's the worst case that Calipari is going to do at Arkansas? Like, honestly, what's the worst thing that he could do at Arkansas? To me, the worst case scenario for him is he makes it to the NCAA tournament 4 out of the next 5 years and only makes it to the second weekend once, which you want more than that. But if that's the worst case, come on. I mean, what that's not that big of a possibility. So yeah, I think that no matter what, it's a great hire. Anybody that says otherwise is just fooling themselves. But appreciate the phone call, Case. Hopefully that answered your question. I haven't seen it. And it's not to say that's not true, but I haven't seen anybody that's been like, I don't like this hire at all. This seems terrible. I don't know why I started talking like I'm suddenly in old-time radio, but that's how sometimes I feel like people talk about it. We'll get to more of your phone calls here in just a second, folks, but got to tell you about Signature Bank, the official bank of Natty State Sports, because Signature Bank is a privately held boutique bank that is redefining the banking experience here in our region, and they are able to blend the warmth and familiarity with a community bank and the sophistication of a commercial bank with the expertise of private banking to deliver unmatched levels of service. There's a lot of great things that they offer there at Signature Bank, but the thing that I've always been really big on is being community focused. Like here in the state of Arkansas, we love being Arkansans. You know, there's something special about it. That's why we're here at Natty State Sports, the natural state, because we love Arkansas. And they also, there at Signature Bank, are community focused, where they're strong and a stable financial institution that's proud to be born and raised right here in Fayetteville. And they tailor everyone's solutions to the unique fabric of the community that they serve, no matter if it's in Northwest Arkansas, Central Arkansas, wherever it may be, they have it. And they're truly local, making decisions on behalf of local businesses and their families. They're an ideal bank for customers who value growth of their community. So check them out at all their convenient locations across the state of Arkansas. You can also visit their website at signature.bank. That's www.signature.bank to be able to see all the great things that they have going on and why you should do banking with them, whether it's your personal banking or business banking. There's only one bank you ever need to make it happen with, and that is Signature Bank here in Arkansas, the official bank of Natty State Sports. All right, so let's continue on with the phone calls and get to, I believe this is Unbiased calling in. I think I finally got it right. What's up, Unbiased?
Hey, man, you got me down pat, John. Won't you be my neighbor? Good afternoon. How you doing?
Man, I'm a little exhausted on lack of sleep, but you know what? Hey, Calipari is the head coach of Arkansas Razorback basketball. What could be better?
You come with the territory. Listen, see, this is all beautiful traffic and movement.
Yes,
so first and foremost, I'm going to get a shout out to Tom Mars, which is the lawyer of Calipari, who shut down Kentucky Sports Radio with the Fugazi reports. Yes, sir. I enjoyed reading and watching all that unfold on Twitter and them giving us multiple different outlandish stories. Versus he didn't talk to the brass, but then he talked to the brass to try to get them to, make a counteroffer. I'm confused. How are you going to counteroffer him taking $500K less? It didn't make any sense to me. I appreciated killing that. And one thing I realized is Kentucky fans is just as bad as us. And I think they're about to go through their PTSD mode.
Yep. Listen, I'm telling you, Unbiased. Like I've seen it, I know that I'm not saying they'll end up with a Billy Donovan, but the amount of Kentucky fans I have seen wanting Billy Donovan, and I like Billy Donovan. He was a good coach, but you're talking about something that he was a great coach almost 20 years ago. I just don't know if he's the guy that you just plug in with the massive changes that's happening in college basketball, and then suddenly Kentucky's just going to win championships. I don't think that's the direction they need to go, but if they end up going there, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Billy Donovan is going to be a very average to maybe a little above average coach at Kentucky if that's the direction they go.
I don't think he goes, though. I think it's going to be Drew.
And that's a great hire,
I think that is a good hire, but, I mean, is it going to move the needle for them? I mean, you know what it is? He'll probably start off not hot, and they'll get impatient, but then he'll catch on a little fire and have some success. Because I heard you say something about the Kentucky brand. I'm going to be honest with you. The Kentucky brand ain't going anywhere. You got to remember, before Calipari, they was in a really bad spot. Remember, what was it they hired? What's his name? He ain't been anywhere. What's his name?
Are you talking about Billy Clyde Gillespie?
Horrible. Yes, he was horrible, right?
Yeah.
So they was in a really tough spot. They've had moments of downtroddenness, but they always find their way back by getting the right coach because their prestige does stand out to some degree. So even if they don't make the right hire now, at some point they'll get themselves back just because of their history. But I gotta let you know, I'm gonna tag you when I'm done. But I'm currently in the midst of national media Arkansas Shade compilation. I'm working on it right now. And when I'm done, I'm going to send it to you. I got about 6 clips now.
Dude.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What you was about to say?
No, I was just saying, please do send me that because it is. I have seen a whole lot of it already going down. Of people just like their minds are blown. Like, why would anybody go to Arkansas? Like, what? Like they don't even have electricity. It's like it's pretty wild.
When I heard third grade, I wanted to punch them. You know what I mean? But I've heard some really respectful people say, "Hey, listen," but I want to say this to the fan base. So, a lot of times I come to talk to the fan base. When it comes to Coach Mutz, I want y'all to understand this. So there's people that dislike Mutz because some of the things that he might have did. And I understand that. But I don't think we have Coach Cal without Mutz reestablishing our brand profile. That is, we got to understand that played a role on why we have Coach Cal, because he brought a certain amount of success and visibility to us that got us back into the spotlight. But with that noted, I saw him, Coach Cal, give a video of gratitude, and I thought it was really classy. And I felt like Coach Mutz gave us an AI photo. And that's my time. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in Unbiased, one of our residential callers and chatters and listeners and watchers. But, I mean, listen, the Cal angle and what he did and dropping that video, which we played, it was extremely classy. And I think that he has so much about him that, say what you want about him, but he's handled a lot of things the right way. But going back to the point of the Kentucky flair, I guess maybe I should clarify my comments just in case Kentucky fans start coming at me. I'm more referring to the shine of Kentucky basketball not being there as much if you're going for Billy Donovan. That's what I'm meaning. I think that if that's truly who you think would be the best bet for you, then that's a problem for you. Like that's a bad deal. So you need to, if you're Kentucky, you need to nail this hire. Mitch Barnhart has to nail it. Like he has to get it right, because if he does not get this one done and right, and we know they got the money to spend, we know they have it. Like just go to Hurley, go to Oates, go to Beard, go to Scott Drew, go to like any of those 4 guys. If you got one of those 4 guys, you'd be great, and I would get it. But I just feel like you'd be settled for Billy Donovan. That would be the point, though. If they get one of those 4 coaches, the Kentucky brand is still shining and bright and one of the best. But if all they can manage and the best they can do is Billy Donovan, then I just don't know that that's the route you want to go. All right, let's keep the phone calls moving. I think this is Caden from Arlington. What's up, Caden?
What's up? I just wanted to get your outlook on the football season coming up. I know we're talking about basketball in here with Coach Cal coming, but I'd like to get your outlook on the football season. What do we think for win totals and whatnot?
Yeah. So I actually went to spring practice this morning for football, which is just so funny because I was, I almost hit myself in the face with the microphone. I was just watching it, and it wasn't a great offensive practice, I'll be honest. Like, Taylor Green was inaccurate, overthrew a lot of guys, which is, nothing to freak out about. Like, sometimes you just have bad practices. But, the football season itself, I just feel like it's such a mystery. I'm hopeful and optimistic because of the Petrino angle, because I think the offense will be really good. I think it'll be explosive. I think you got a great running game. I think the offensive line is vastly improved. Your skill position guys are legit. So I feel strong about that. And even defensively, I think you got a really solid D-line. I think you got a solid secondary. The linebacker is a problem, though. It's a major problem. We'll see what they do in the portal coming out of that. But the schedule's always tough, too. I mean, I feel like if I was to make a final prediction of what the season's going to be this year, I would say 6-6, 7-5 at best, probably. I think potentially you could get to 8, maybe 9 wins if you really just put it together. But you got to make postseason. I think this team's good enough to make postseason. I think they're good enough to go to a bowl game. I know it's not going to make anybody excited, but I still think that there's plenty of reasons to believe that the offense is going to be the bell cow for this team. And if it's successful, the team will be successful. And with Petrino behind the helm, then I got to feel pretty good about it.
No, for sure. And you said that we fixed our secondary. I mean, that's impressive from last year, and I guess linebackers the problem now.
Yeah, I mean, you just lost all your linebackers. Like, all of them transferred out, and you got Xavier Sori in, which is great, but you need a lot more than that. And your secondary, I mean, you don't return Dwight McLaughlin, who was a great player, but for the most part, you return almost everybody from the secondary last year that was much improved. So I think that I also think Marcus Woodson's a really good coach. And he's been coaching safeties and secondary a lot of it, not most of it, not all of it. And so I think he's great. So, yeah, I mean, you have potential there, but I feel like you had potential last year too, and you fell short. If this team can finally start winning some close games, then maybe they'll start getting out of it because they're going to have a lot of close games and they're a lot of tough opponents they'll have to face.
All right, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Caden. Thanks for calling in, man. Let's see. We'll go here back to the phone lines because I believe it's Chris. Yeah, we're going to have Chris on here in just a second, and I want to get his thoughts and opinions on the Coach Cal and the Calipari thing. But I got to tell you, folks, about the Autograph app here of Natty State Sports. Now, we know that you are consuming a lot of content, and from Natty State Sports, you're not getting any better content than what we are providing here, not only with our live streams, with our podcasts, whether it's the Pod at the Palace, the Bombastic Podcast by Andrew Ellis. We're having the Intern Podcast continuing on, live streams, written content, everything. You're a consumer of digital content. Well, the Autograph app is able to help you out with that. If you go to the Autograph app in the App Store and download it and use code NATTY, N-A-T-T-Y, Natty, N-A-T-T-Y, you'll be able to check out all the great content for your favorite team, which more often than not will be the Razorbacks. And you'll be able to see all the great content that we provide with Natty State to be listed on there as well. And it's a very simple thing. It's a free app. And whenever you consume that media, you get building and building and building of great rewards. And in this particular case, you'll have a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Arkansas and Florida baseball coming up, which is going to be a massive series. I mean, every game is a must-see for Arkansas in baseball, but you got to check it out. So download the app today. It's the Autograph app. You can go to the App Store and do it that way. And you be sure to use promo code NATTY, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen right now with your phone. It'll take you right to it, but no matter what it is, do it with the Autograph app, co-founded by Tom Brady, so you know it's good because he's the GOAT. Don't say that to my buddy Devin, but it's true. He's the GOAT. So love the Autograph app and love that they are a part of Natty State Sports. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here and have Chris on the line. What's going on, Chris?
What's going on, John? Hey, did you know that Alyssa Orange said that there's a press conference tomorrow at 6 at Walton?
Yeah, I heard that. I heard something about that. There were whispers. There was a very, it's very subtle of what was going on there. But yeah, our chat was blowing up with everybody saying that in our previous streams. We're like, yeah, we got it. Thank you. Jeez, my goodness.
No, I can call back in 15 minutes and announce that if you need me to.
No, as much as I appreciate it, I think we'll be fine. But I thank you for it.
Okay, cool. I was just calling in. With this whole thing with Cal getting hired. I mean, I love it. I mean, I'm like a lot of Hog fans, I think, right now. But it's funny watching the national media and the way they react to it. And I think, some of you guys, Curtis, I think has kind of addressed it. I think you have as well on Locked On. But watching the national media's reaction, it's like, whenever I was younger, it would have really made me mad. But now as I kind of watch, like Stephen A., really like, good Lord, can that guy pronounce Arkansas, any worse? But I mean, like watching him kind of poo-poo it, watching Shannon Sharp like screaming in the television, well, hey, look, I could have made it to the first round without with all those great talents, and start listing off the 85 different players that have gone to the NBA for Kentucky. Watching all these people that clearly have no clue about what Arkansas is capable of, I'm not mad. I realize Arkansas did something really cool just now, and it's actually the right move.
Yeah.
Because it upset. It upset like what everybody thought was going to happen. Everybody thought Arkansas was going to screw up, which granted, Chad Morris, Dana Altman, I get it fully. But everybody was expecting that. Everybody was expecting us to screw it up. And guess what? We hit a home run, and we took Cal from Kentucky. Now, granted, I understand Kentucky fans really probably wanted him out. And sometimes you just got to make a change. I get that. I think it's a win-win situation. I'm not the first person to say that. But the fact that we actually did something and hit a home run nationally, and Cal didn't get fired from Kentucky after another dismal season, completely upset the apple cart, and it's clear it broke some of these people's brains, and it's great to see.
Yeah, I've been, again, I was kind of just, venting about it on my Locked On podcast, and you're right. It's like you got to lean into it because it's never going to change, and people are just going to believe what they want to believe about Arkansas, and that's fine because it's like, Arkansas has done something that you constantly, as a state, and a lot of times in sports, you prove people wrong. I know people like to talk down upon it or make fun of it, and everybody has down years, and Arkansas has down years too as an athletic department. There's no question, but for crying out loud, I mean, you look at the athletic department in general and the health of it. There's very few places that are as good as what they got going on. And I mean, you just hired John freaking Calipari. Like, not many other schools could pull that off, and you're doing it with money, and you're backing it up with money. So. Yeah, it's a constant thing where I laugh about it because it's like you'll never understand, people will never understand, but it's kind of like knowing a secret, or at least like knowing a piece of a puzzle or how to put something together that nobody else understands and they can't figure it out, and they're constantly wondering why. Why is this? Why is this happening? Why is this the case? And in your back of your mind, you're like, I know why, but you're never going to understand it. So it's almost like being arrogant about it, cocky about it, which I am. It's like you can sit there and try to figure it out and put your hands in your head and you're like, what is happening? What I don't understand. And be like, yeah, I know. I know you don't. You never will. And that's fine. Arkansas will continue to prove a lot of people wrong as a state in general.
Completely agree. And it's one of those things like, yeah, you want to be like, I wouldn't necessarily say cocky. It's just like a confidence of like, look, you just don't know, and that's fine. And you may not care to know, and that's fine. We know what we've got. We know we've got a program that has so much promise. It just hasn't ever clicked completely. Sometimes it's because we're the ones shooting ourselves in the foot. But, boy, if it ever completely clicks together, which this may very well be the moment, watch out. You may be seeing a lot of us toothless hillbillies doing a lot of celebrating, so that's okay. Hey, I did get my first pair of shoes last week, so I do feel like I'm coming up in the world. So. Well,
man, I actually just got my teeth fixed. They were so terrible, and they were falling out and everything.
You have teeth?
Yeah. I have these things called teeth. Yeah, I just discovered them yesterday, just like electricity. So yeah, look at us go.
Look at you being Mr. Highfalutin.
Oh man, appreciate the phone call, Chris.
Well, hey, appreciate you, sir. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, that was always my favorite thing. Is just like everyone. I remember, quick story because I know we got some more people who continue to get your calls. But I remember, I think it was in Buffalo when I was up there for the NCAA tournament, and I went to just a place because I was trying to find what the great buffalo wings, which, by the way, Barbell was my favorite place up there. But either way, like I go there and make a small talk with the waitress that's there and stuff, and they asked like where I was from, and then I was like, oh, I'm here for the NCAA tournament from Arkansas, and she was like, really? It's like, yeah. It's like you don't have an accent. It's like, well, I mean, no. I mean, some people do in Arkansas, yeah, but I don't. She's like, so did you just like go to school there? I was like, no, I was raised there. Like granted, I'm from Fayetteville, so I know it's a little bit different, slightly different, but it's just funny how people just assume. It's like, oh, you must have an accent. Not everybody has an accent. Now, I'll be honest too. Stereotypes exist for a reason. So there are people in the state of Arkansas, we love you, that can really fit the stereotype of what people think outside about Arkansas. But that doesn't mean that the state in general and everything about the state is that way. So let's just make that very clear. All right, let's keep it going. I believe this is Richie calling in, I believe. What's up, Richie?
What's going on, John? How you doing?
Man, I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Hey, I was just wondering, you can't help but notice these days with, like in the football program, the BYU loss, just how toxic all the fans start just at those moments with the Calipari. You read online these comments, Musselman all year long. I'm just wondering what you think about if the fans have any weight at all as far as wins and losses. I mean, it just seems like all the talk goes on, and then you start early in the season and all of a sudden it's just a dumpster fire by the end of it. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on it and how much fans' potential comments and toxicity could bleed into the programs.
Well, I think, Richie, I think it'd be naive to think that it doesn't have some sort of impact. I believe that there are always crazy fans everywhere you go that'll say crazy things. And I think as long as you don't allow social media to dictate and to be a representation of how you feel like the entire fan base is, you'll understand that. Because anything, and it's not just for fandom, like you cannot look at social media and in this day and age and just say that's a representation, because it's a very, very, very small fraction. However, as things go on, as time goes on, like you'll have problems, you'll have issues. Like I look at it like Tennessee football, man. Like they had a thing where they had an uproar of a coach that was about to be hired, where he was hired, he signed the contract, and they bailed. They're like, no. And they got the AD fired. The fans revolted. Now, if that doesn't give you an idea of what a toxic fan base looks like, I don't know what will, but look at Tennessee football right now. I know they went through the Jeremy Pruitt era, but still, they're doing fine. So I think that fans, yes, can have an impact. Fans can definitely have an impact, but the size of the impact that they have, I think, is a lot smaller than maybe we give it credit for or realize, because at the end of the day, coaches can win anywhere just as long as they have the amenities to win. And as much as I love fans, because I'm one of them, you know, Nick Saban could have still won national championships at Alabama if he had no fans in the stands. He still could have won a championship. So I think that there's always a level of it.
All right. Well, yeah, I was just curious what you thought on that. Just a lot of that going on these days. I would challenge our fans to try to, not all of them, like you say, but try to be a little more positive, I guess. Maybe it'll help us out in the long run.
Where's the fun in that? Come on now. I mean, it's so much more fun and to be more emotional these days. I mean, there's no fun in that. But no, I get what you're saying, man. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I get it.
Sir, all right. Have a good one.
All right, you too, Richie. Thanks for calling in, man. Yeah, again, appreciate the phone calls, folks. Like, yeah, really, I like the phone call element to it, and I'm going to try to get into the point of having video in it, which I don't know how that'll be. That could be dangerous. That could go really bad really quickly. So, but we'll get to more of your phone calls. So stay on the line here in just a second. First, I got to give you your Arkansas update, brought to you by Davis and Garrett Insurance, your independent auto owners insurance agency, securing what matters the most. So, for your Arkansas update, John Calipari officially announces that he is resigning as the Kentucky head coach. He puts it out in a video and lets everybody know about it. So, not surprising. Tomorrow, and this is according to Brandon Marcello, so Brandon Marcello is about as legit as it gets when it comes to media. There's a board meeting tomorrow morning where the contract will be approved by the board of trustees, and that'll happen. And then, taking place at around 1:30-ish, I believe, is when Cal is going to be getting into town, getting off the plane. And then at 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening, is when at Bud Walton Arena they're going to have a celebration for Cal and his introductory press conference. So that's all going to be happening. I believe the fans are invited to both. So I'm sure there'll be quite a turnout for that. And also, Razorback Baseball is taking on San Jose State tonight. The weather's a little dicey out there, and it may be a little bit more dicier tomorrow. But there's still going to be a baseball series, midweek series happening, Baum Walker, and then they will be on the road to face off against Alabama this weekend too. So either way, that's your Arkansas update, brought to you by Davis and Garrett Insurance, your independent auto owners insurance agency, securing what matters the most. And this is going to be more of an abbreviated John Nabors show. We can keep the calls coming in. So let's hear from, I believe it's Garrett in Dallas. What's up, Garrett?
Hey, what's up, John? How's it going, man?
It's going great. How about yourself?
Good, man. We were all hoping that this would get done with the press conference and everything today, because work has not been very productive for any of us Hog fans here in Dallas. We've been on our phones watching stuff. We stayed up all night Monday with you guys, or on Sunday, I guess I should say. So it's been crazy. But I just wanted to say one thing that we've been talking about a lot is it's going to be interesting to see how Calipari views some of the guys that, the fan base in general would like to have back, Tremont and Battle and things like that. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, how, people might get upset, but it's going to be interesting to see how he views those guys. It's like he might just not want them because he thinks he might get better guys in here. So just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah. Yeah, appreciate it, Garrett. Thanks for calling in and listening in, man. I think that no matter who Cal wants to bring in on the roster, I'm giving him that benefit. He gets just whoever he wants. Give him full reign. If you want Caliph Battle, if you want Tremont Mark, those guys, if you want to go after them and get them here and stay in here, then absolutely. I'm on board with it. I have at it. Make it happen. But I don't think there should be any pressure for Coach Cal to do that. There should be no added thing like, hey, you should really go after these guys. Or if he wants them, great. But I want this to be, because the best time and the best culture and the best way of dealing with coaches, the best way to do it is always to have the coach be in full control. Now, I can understand if it's different, if like it's an up-and-comer who's new to the coaching realm and still a little bit of mystery out of it. But when you're talking about someone like John Calipari, you just say, hey, we'll be here if you need us. Get your staff, whatever roster, whatever recruiting, have at it, go after it, do it. We'll be over here if you need us. You do that, that is what's going to make a team and a program great. And I think that's what's going to happen with Arkansas. No micromanaging, no saying, okay, well, we want this to happen. I want it to happen this way. No, just let him cook. Let him do his thing, and you'll be fine. So I think that'll be the case. But I don't know. Transfer portal is such a weird thing now. I love the fact that you've already seen some decommitments. And I'm telling you this right now. I think I saw one of these questions get asked in the chat, so I apologize if I don't remember what your name is. But again, we have so many things happening. But I think that Arkansas was going to have, by tomorrow night, 2 commitments. I'm going to be throwing that out there. 2 commitments. Calling my shot for Arkansas. So, Cole, let's see. Cole, what's up, man? I know you're been waiting a little bit, but appreciate you coming in and talking in. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just a normal day, I guess. I was wanting to call to kind of talk about the expectation from now on when it comes to head coaching hires, especially with football. I know Curtis was kind of talking about it earlier. Is this going to be the expectation from now on? Do we got to expect big donations to be able to get the next, I guess, Kirby Smart to come here, just for an example? I'll let you talk about that and I'll hang up. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Cole. Thanks for calling in, man. So that is a question that we got asked on our stream, and I'll say, it's a tough thing because I want Sam Pittman to work out. I like Sam Pittman. I'm rooting for Sam Pittman. No, let's face the facts. It's like he's entering into a year where he's on the hot seat. He's got to win. He's got to win now. So, what do you do if that doesn't work out? I think it has set up a major expectation for the football program. Just to say, hey, you better do your thing. You better go out there and win, and you better go out there and get a great coach. But I don't think it's going to be a Kirby Smart because it's different too. Because you got to have both. You got to be able to be at a program that can win at the highest level and have the NIL and everything. But I think I even talked about it yesterday. Say if it's $7 million for NIL that has been pledged to the Razorback basketball program for Cal, that goes a lot further than $7 million given to the football program. Still both helps. But you get a lot of good players, a few good players, solid team, but that ain't a championship team. And guys, Texas A&M spent $25 million on a class, and what do they have to show for it? $25 million. So it's like, it's just different. So, but I think that it's different too with the coaching situation, what he took over. Like Muss elevated the program, and Cal is getting there. I think Unbiased made a great point. He's like, without Muss, Cal's probably not as interested in this job because of that. I think that's true. So could be the same thing here for Cal. Is like he's in a good spot because of the previous guy, Pittman. Say if they go 5-7 this year or whatever, and he's fired, I don't know if that's gonna, bring in Kirby Smart suddenly interested or whoever is suddenly interested in Arkansas. I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it's that simple for that. But we're gonna take a break. We'll come back. We'll clean up some final phone calls and get to some more of your chats, and we'll, again, close up shop. I know it's going to be an abbreviated show today, but got a lot of things to get to and to continue to talk about. But first, folks, I got to tell you about our friends over there at Alumni Hall here in Fayetteville. As we know, Arkansas baseball is still going on. Maybe you want to be going to the game tomorrow, or the game tomorrow. I guess baseball game will be tomorrow, but the press conference tomorrow. And you want to show off your brand new nice apparel from Alumni Hall for Coach Cal, because that's what you're wanting to do. Well, if that's what you want to do, then you better get on the website at nattystatesports.com/Alumni Hall and get you some of the great apparel that they have over there at Alumni Hall. They have all different types of high-end brands. You're talking about Nike. You're talking about Columbia. You're talking about Peter Millar. You're talking about Johnny O. They have it all. And for those of you who are getting into the summer vibes, you need to get on that too. They always have the latest and greatest things. So check it out with Alumni Hall. Their locations in Fayetteville on College. Or you can shop them online at nattystatesports.com/Alumni Hall. But no matter what it is, make sure you do it with Alumni Hall. It is the ultimate Razorback shopping destination. We're going to take a quick break. We'll get back to more of your phone calls and messages. So stay with us, folks, here on the John Nabors Show.
We not done yet either. So don't be satisfied because we not done.
Hey John, Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrats. I had a two-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric.
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
Well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Just tell me you missed it. I'm not going to go there with you, Dave. Why not?
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
Oh, shoot.
That is why Arkansas is fantastic.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't like the game, but I'm glad I was able to walk off the floor again and deep inside and have that funny feeling that, hey, one more time, Horns.
Best guys. I know it's a tough time for you. The coach is gone, but you got a new coach now, and you got to listen to what he says. Okay, I know you're thinking, oh, who is this new guy? Where's the other guy that crashed the motorcycle? We like him better. He was cool or whatever. Forget about all that. Listen to the new coach and get out there and win some games.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks. You guys act like it's... Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.
Big Red, so excited. Big Red. Oh.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
I was a teacher today. Told those boys, welcome to the SEC.
Well, Fayetteville is 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
I'm gonna stick my dick in the mashed potato. Go Hogs.
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm gonna say Arkansas.
The John Nabors Show is live from the Natty State Sports Studios.
All right, final segment here on the John Nabors Show. Appreciate everybody listening in and watching in here on this beautiful day in the great states. This is all about John Calipari. He named the next head coach of the University of Arkansas men's basketball team as he officially resigned from Kentucky today. And tomorrow, it'll be all official. I think everybody's looking forward to that day and to that time. But I do want to say real quick before we go back to the phone lines, shout out to everybody who has joined us here at Natty State Sports, whether it's our live stream or it's our written content that we put on nattystatesports.com or it's our podcast. Everybody, we really appreciate it. We have a group of here that really works out and really works hard. And each and every day. Like they're in here, Curtis, Scotty, and Andrew, like are putting in the work and doing a phenomenal job. And so these are a thank you to everybody making us a part of it, because we're different. We have fun. We sometimes let loose a little bit more. We have a great spot. We got a great amount of people here. Like we just hired 2 new full-time salespeople, they're going to be awesome with Cassie and Kurt. So it's just great. We got a lot of great things going here in United States Sports, and this is just another part of it. So, but thank you. Just want to say thank you to each and every one of you out there too. All right, let's go to the phone lines once again before we wrap up here. Brent is in Searcy. What's up, Brent?
What's up, John Nabors?
My man, Brent in Stuttgart.
I moved, Johnny.
Oh, okay.
I moved to Searcy.
So if you're okay, Brent and Searcy, it still doesn't sound as good, but still does pretty well, man. But hey, it's been a while and good to hear from you.
Hey, I want to tell you, you and Curtis kept me up way too late Sunday night.
Yeah, I don't think you were the only one, man. We are like, again, that just kind of shows you the thing where none of us were looking to stay up late, and most of us were trying to just get home early. But you know, when the call comes, we're going to be here at Natty State going live and talking about it. But that was a lot of fun to see it all in real time. That was so much fun.
It was awesome. It was great to stay up and watch it. And I just want to tell you, it's my first time calling because I didn't even. You gave me something else to listen to from 4 to 6 in the evening now.
Well, we love that. I mean, that's what we were all about here, man, is like just trying to provide a new outlet and be the best at it, you know, because I think that options are always great. You know, there's some people out there that prefer other options than me, and that's fine. But we want it to be the best of the best.
I think this is the greatest 3 days. This is the greatest days of Razorback sports, probably other than that in my lifetime, Johnny.
I mean, it's really hard to imagine a bigger deal than this. I can't remember one, especially with coaching hire. I mean, forever the Bobby Petrino hire was insane when he was head coach, but it wasn't because of necessarily his name, but he was a big name. But it was because of the negative vitriol reaction that national media had because of his exit from the Atlanta Falcons. So it was like, it was a very big deal and it was very nationally known, but it was more of almost like having a negative connotation to it. But this blows that out of the water. Like this is, without question, I mean, you got everybody talking about it. It shocked the world. It shocked the college basketball landscape. And everybody, at least for the most part, is saying for Arkansas, this is incredible. Like this is big time for y'all. So yeah, I think it'd be hard to find a bigger deal in the sports landscape besides winning a national championship in basketball. But this is as big as it gets.
And when because I'm in Fayetteville all the time for baseball, I would love to take you and Curtis and Andrew, and I'm leaving out somebody.
Scotty.
I would love to take y'all to lunch sometime.
Yeah. It's Scotty. Yeah, we would. Yeah, just man, anytime you're up, hit me up. I know you got my contact, and we'd love to go out, man. So just hit us up.
That'd be fun. John, love your show. You know how I feel about you as a sportsman. So I really appreciate what you're doing.
Hey, well, I appreciate you, Brent. It's good to hear from you, man, and you can call back anytime, man. It's always good to catch up with you. All right, let's see. Go to Parker. Here's his name. He's in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Home of the Hilltoppers, though. What's up, Parker?
Hey, John. How are you?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I am doing better than ever. I can promise you that.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm assuming they're in Kentucky country, which, again, my brother went to Western Kentucky, so that's how I know the Bowling Green area. But, yeah, I bet you over there in Kentucky it's been pretty crazy and wild. But if you're a Razorback fan, you kind of feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I didn't, it all happened so fast on Sunday night. I didn't sleep much, but when I woke up Monday morning, I put on all my Arkansas gear. I work in office, here in Bowling Green, and I put on all my Arkansas gear and walked in pretty proudly. I got some looks when I walked in, but they kind of asked me how I felt about the hire, and they're obviously they have some mixed emotions about it, I guess, as we can see. Their go-to is the win-win, but they're worried. They're worried about their situation right now, and they're kind of going back on, you saw for the 5 minutes yesterday of, oh, maybe he's actually coming back. They were real excited. I had people come into my office yesterday saying, did you see he's coming back? He's coming back. It's not actually happening. So it's nice seeing their heads spinning a little bit right now.
Yeah, they can say whatever they want. They can do it however they want. They can spin it however they want. But they're the ones that did not want Cal anymore. Like, they didn't want him. And they made that very clear. And so for him to take this spot, that's where I think he's going to be motivated. I think that he's going to be all about it. I think he's going to be re-energized to the fan base. And I'm not saying it'll for sure happen, but there's a really good possibility that Arkansas over the next 5 years will be in a better position and have more success than Kentucky basketball in the next 4 years. That's a very good, distinct possibility.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, and I hope that happens. Obviously, I've got really good friends that are Kentucky fans, and they've always given me a hard time. Obviously, overall they've had more success than we have. Maybe not recently, especially in the tournament. I wish them the best, I guess, but it's been nice to because they just don't know how to handle. And I've been telling people, they're like, you're happy that you're getting Calipari, and it's just, you don't see a blue blood coach leave outside of retirement to a non-blue blood program. You just don't see that happening, and they don't know how to handle that situation. And I think that's why this whole situation is so big.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me, maybe not the exact way, but it kind of reminds me of when Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma. The Oklahoma fans that I know, they were just beside themselves. They're like, no way, no one could ever leave us. No one would ever leave us. And the fact that they left us, it shows more about him than not, like, just losing it, because they're not used to that. They're not used to somebody leaving their spot that they had success to go somewhere else. And so it's a new thing for them, and it's something they don't know really how to handle. And I think Kentucky's handling it better, because I think that they're cocky enough, confident enough, and arrogant enough, and maybe justified to be able to do just as good, if not better, than what Cal was able to do. So we'll see, but I don't think that there's any question that you have opportunities to be better if you're both schools. But I don't think there's any reason also, if you're a Kentucky fan, to have any ill will towards Calipari, because the fans didn't want him. Overwhelmingly didn't want him anymore. He moved on, so I think that it's going to work out better. Which I've also seen people say, oh, but he got ran out of Kentucky. Why would you be happy to get a coach that got ran out? It's like, because he's still John Calipari, and sometimes you just need a change of scenery. Sometimes you just need a change of where you're at, and you can still be highly successful somewhere else. And I don't know, like, I'm fine with taking that risk. I think the risk is worth the reward and the type of talent that you could be able to bring in here.
Of course, yeah, I totally agree, and I think what people have been saying about he was there for 15 years. He said it himself. That's a 10-year job, and they the last 5 years have not been necessarily successful for him on the postseason side of things, and I'm hoping maybe he gets into a totally new situation with, obviously, I mean, over double, even getting close to triple amount of NIL backing that he had there. Obviously, an insane amount of support from a fan base that actually wants him. I think he's excited about this opportunity, and I think it's going to be a really good start for him.
No, I do too. I think it'll be great. I think it'll be great for everybody involved. And again, like, if the worst that Cal does in the next 5 years at Arkansas is going to the NCAA tournament every year and, only making it to one Sweet 16, is that awesome? Is that great? Is that something to celebrate? No, but there's a lot of coaches out there that would do much worse during that stretch. I'm willing to risk it. So let's see how it plays out.
Absolutely. Thanks, John.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in, Parker. All right, final call before we get out of here. and make it happen. Let's go to, I believe it's Austin from Little Rock. What's going on, Austin?
Yes, sir. I wanted to call in and ask you a big question. Do you want John Calipari to take off his shirt when we win a game in the tournament, or do we want him to keep it on?
Well, I mean, he can do whatever he wants, but, I mean, if he takes off his shirt winning a national championship, absolutely, because I'm going to get naked whenever that happens. But I think that if he's not going to do that, but, I mean, hey, listen, if he does, great. If not, that's fine too. The winning is the only thing I care about. The celebration and the reactions can do whatever you want.
Agreed. That's one thing I'm going to miss about Muss. He took off his shirt and he was partying.
Yep. Oh, yeah. He knew how to have a good time. There's no question about it. But you can still win without taking your shirt off. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in, Austin. All right, a few things in the chat I wanted to get through and to talk about some questions. I try to get to all of them, folks, and I know it's so much going on, but I appreciate all of you watching in anyways. I wanted to bring this up. This comes from Silent Age 8. He says, hey, John, what do you think of Brian Hodgson's how do you say that? It's been a long day. Hodgson's, caught that. Challenge to Cal. He's the Arkansas State coach. Challenge to Cal and the Hogs for a basketball match. Yeah, I saw this on Twitter. Really weird. He's like, hey, give the people what they want. Arkansas and Arkansas State. I was like, what people have asked for this? Like football, okay, maybe I can see people who've asked for it, but who's asking for Arkansas State basketball? No one. Like if it gets played, fine, but I don't understand. Like that's just somebody that she's trying to capture some stuff too. But there's no need to play it. But if they do, it's okay. Like, I don't care. They played Little Rock before. They played UAPB before. UCA, I believe they played. So if it's Arkansas State, it's fine. But I don't care. If they do play it, though, it better be in Bud Walton Arena and nowhere else. That's for sure. Brent says, if fans are invited to Bud tomorrow night, how do we get in? Is there tickets for sale or what? My understanding is it's just free admission, you know. Again, we'll have details on it. We'll be sure to relay them, but my understanding is you just first come, first serve, show up whenever, and they'll guide you in. There's no tickets. They're not going to sell something for it. But I expect a huge crowd to be there, a huge crowd. Scott says, what's the best Arkansas basketball website for current news? NattyStateSports.com. NattyStateSports.com. It is the best website. We have a very, some people call it, I think somebody yesterday called it basic, but they love in a complimentary way, and that's what we're going for. We're always making little adjustments and everything to our website. But when it comes to the content, it may come off as very basic, but you know what? It's very clean, it's very easy, and it's very instant. Like, we don't want to just litter it with a bunch of pop-ups and craziness. That's what I like about it. So, the NattyStateSports.com is a place to go. We're always writing stuff on there. And basketball content, it's a way to keep up with the big board for portal gets and for recruits and everything. So, yeah, there's no question. That's the way you need to go. Mr. Bloodline says, looks like John Nabors is slimming up or sliming up. One of the two. Probably both. He's getting ready for the beach. I better start cutting carbs myself. I don't think I've actually been slimming up. I feel like I've gained weight, to be honest. But thank you. I appreciate it. It's something that's like, I want to get back to a routine to where I can just eat normal again. Like, that's my thing. I just feel like I haven't been able to eat normally for a long time. So, also, Scott wants to know, why are you called Natty State? Natural state, Arkansas. Arkansas is the natural state. I've always liked the Natty tagline. It's easy to clean, Natty State. So, and when it's Natty State, you know what it is. It's the natural state. It's Arkansas. It's unique. It's cool, and it's fun, and it's marketable branding. So I've always liked that. But that's a short answer to what we're talking about it. So apparently a lot of Kentuckians have entered into the chat. I said that would be the final call, but I guess I will get to this because this is someone who's calling in from Lexington. I guess it's Trey. So we'll try to work him in before we close up shop here. So what's up, Trey?
Hey, how's it going? Hey, I could tell you a lot of different things about John Calipari, but if I had to tell you one thing to get y'all pumped up, it would be that in 8 years, there's going to be 2 or 3 guys in the NBA All-Star game that's going to be coming from Arkansas. And I think that's something y'all can get pumped up about.
Yeah, I mean, because that's Arkansas. That went for they've always had a couple pros here and there, but they went through a long stretch where they were not putting and producing guys into the NBA until Muss arrived, and now they have some really good players that have been in there and had. I mean, you got Moses Moody, Jalen Williams, Isaiah Joe's been phenomenal for OKC. You think about some of the rookies that may end up being great, but yeah, they just lack that, and I think that's something that they can look forward to is just getting excited and being able to follow these players a little bit more when they're in the pros and in the NBA. Because I think that also makes the game grow in the state of Arkansas, because I'll be honest, I don't think Arkansas cares too much about the NBA overall. But if you have players from Arkansas or that went to Arkansas in there, it'll mean a lot.
Yeah, I think y'all have a blast with them. Thank you.
No, appreciate you. Thanks for calling in there too. Yeah, I think that it'll be great. But I was saying, I got somebody texting me saying I'm ignoring their comments. I'm not ignoring your comments. You got to see your comments. Where are your comments listed at? But yeah, the phone line's been great today, though. People are throwing things at me like, well, I guess Clint wants to know, what is this? What's my favorite hot dog topping? Boy, we're getting crazy. I don't know, mustard? Pickle relish? Top of that? I don't know. Pretty basic when it comes to hot dogs. I'm a big spicy brown mustard guy, though, so. Yeah. Okay, so somebody is on the Instagram. So that may be something I want to reiterate to people. As of right now, at least with the streaming service that we use, if you're commenting on our Instagram live stream, I don't get to see them, not yet. So in our big live stream, that's annoying. I know it's annoying, but for some reason that's the case. So just wanted to have that happen. Jeff says, "Is that pic of Cal and the Palace real?" Yes, it is. It is real. Have confirmed. Have confirmed. Man, a lot of Kentucky fans have entered into the chat. We appreciate you, though, for watching in. Yeah, Alex Farrell, if you're trying to tell me what comments you're making, let me know here. Sorry. Not trying to ignore anybody. Everyone's talking about, hey, like Kentucky fans are like, have fun losing in the first round with Cal. Okay. Like, who's y'all's coach? Like, I don't know if you like Kentucky fans. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I wouldn't be crowing until you guys find out who your coach is going to be. Like, if y'all get a great coach, then okay, go crazy. But they're talking about have fun losing in the first round. Well, you guys need a coach first. You guys got to figure that part out. But I don't know. Some of it, I just feel like it's just a revisionist history for some of these commenters or these fans that are there too. So. Let's see. Jeremy wants to know burgers or wings. Wings every time. Big wing guy. I don't love burgers, though. Something like that. All right, this comes from Alex. It says, super interested to see how it will all play out with Calipari. I think we will know quickly if he'll be successful or not, depending on how he builds the roster. However, the problem with the college sports in general right now is it's not about the best talent. It's about who has the most money. So that motivates people as individuals and not as teams. I mean, I think that there's an element to it, but at the same time and in the same token, somebody has to win a championship. Somebody's going to win. And so it's a matter of putting all of that together. Like, UConn has been a force to be reckoned with in the NCAA tournament. They have NIL, and, they put it together. It works for them. Purdue, say what you want about them, but they've always done a really good job in putting it together in the team. So I just feel like, yeah, and it's changed. But somebody still has to win, and somebody still has to put it together. And because of that fact, I don't see any reason why it can't be a place like Arkansas with a coach like Cal. So I think that's just, I don't know. I feel like there are so many layers to something like that of like what makes success and what makes it become an incredible team and an incredible run. Everything has to come together. But players want to win. Not all of them are motivated, number one, by money. Like, that's my thing. It's like there are players who just want to go to a good program and develop and win. And so if you provide that, the NIL part of it comes a lot easier and your team becomes a lot easier to form. So that's my thing. Any other chance or comments here at the very beginning? Will we keep Ronnie on staff? I hope so. He better. Well, I'm not threatening, but like I'd really like it if Ronnie stayed on staff. Ronnie deserves that for sure. Hopefully that happens. A lot of just Kentucky fans, which is funny. Cracks me up. But hey, that about does it for us, folks. I appreciate all of you watching in and listening in and having some fun with us here on the show, because we're all about having fun. And it's a fun time. If you're a Razorback fan, it's a very fun time right now. And I know it's happening, but it's still going to be surreal tomorrow to see John Calipari as the Razorback head coach in person in Bud Walton. I still don't know if it's real. It's real, but it's still going to be wild. But we're going to have all the coverage for you at Natty State Sports. So check it out. We're going to have written content. We're going to have live streams. We're going to have video content all tomorrow. So subscribe to Natty State Sports on YouTube. Be sure to follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Natty State is what's going on Facebook. So check that out as well. But we're going to keep it going, folks. Keeping it moving, keeping it grooving, everything. So appreciate all of you. And it'll be the same sports show, same sports channel tomorrow afternoon. Have a great rest of your night, folks, and we will see you tomorrow.